Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a life crafted page, a 6x8 life crafted page in my travel album from last year when we went to California. I have some photos of my husband and I going out to a very fancy dinner, so we look very nice. And I'm going to be using the Citrus Twists brand new collection, Life in Motion, I believe is what it's called. And the colors match really well and they're very pretty papers. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm probably going to pull in some stuff from my Citrus Twist stash as well. We'll see what happens. I have the cut aparts, I have the cards, I have the papers. So let's get started. All right, so I pretty quickly decided that wherever this page was going was boring as heck. And so I decided to shut it all off and get out my Silhouette and create myself a cut file. So these photos were taken like around sunset-ish time. And so the sun was setting in the background, and I have that sun die cut. There's also one that says, "You are my sunshine." And so I decided to go ahead and make myself a very large sunburst die cut. You can see me just moving things around and deciding, blur. So I've got this sunburst die cut that spans both pages, and it is free on my website. I will leave a link in the description box below just because I made it, and I might as well let y'all have it too. It is a 6x12 cut file, so if you need to put it on 2 pages like this one, then you'll just have to cut it down the middle. So now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to use the cut out pieces as templates for the inside pieces. Wow, my brain is functioning real well today. Ladies, you're welcome. So I'm just going through and I am making sure to put down all of the pieces backwards. That way, because I'm working on the back of the page, so if I lay them down backwards, then they will face the right way when I cut them out. So I'm just going through and doing this by hand. I could have set up my Silhouette to do this and it would have been easier. Not sure that it would have been faster, having to align all of the papers and make sure that everything fits in the right place. I mean, yes, it probably would have been slightly faster, but this is the lazy girl method, and I'm nothing if not a lazy girl. So here we go. I did this one wrong, just so you know. I put those 2 center pieces down wrong, and so the pattern does not align in the center, but again, I reiterate, I am a lazy girl and I am not going to fix it. It's a kind of pattern that doesn't really make a difference anyway. I did the same thing with the suns, but it worked out well, so it worked. But I'm not perfect, y'all. Just not. So that is what it is. Anyway, this is what I'm doing. It's not hard. It's pretty easy. I'm just making sure that all of the colors rotate around the sun as well. So it's kind of funny because I did 2 in the middle for that light blue so that it would span both sides of the page. So half of these colors end up in the same place on both sides of the pages and half of them don't. So it's kind of amusing. But there we go. All right, so we're going to stick them all down with some tape runner, make sure everything is perfect. That background that I'm gluing it onto is just printer paper. All of this cardstock holds it up real nicely, and I didn't have to waste a second piece of cardstock to adhere all of these paper strips to. All right, so now I just got to trim it off, make sure everything's lined up nicely, and now we can start building our page as soon as I get this done. These are 6x8 pages. It's in my 6x8 album, so they're a little bit larger than what I'm used to, so I have a little bit more room, which is nice. Perfect. Okay, but I use large photos, so there's that. I took away my own benefit. So cute though. I love the way that this page turned out. And I end up using a lot of circles on this page as embellishments because of that central circular sun centerpiece. Wow, say that 10 times fast. So I actually had to put this is another one where I like started building it and had to walk away and come back and finish it off because it wasn't quite aligning with my actual vision of what I wanted it to look like. So I think I did it. I put all these circles down and then I walked away for a little while. You'll see my sweatshirt is gone here pretty quick. And I come back to it to finish it off because it just, well, that was quite a transition. It just wasn't working for me. So I pulled out some florals specifically from last month's collection, the crafting collection. What was it called? Crafting Memories, I think. And I just was like, this is just, I am uninspired. So I'm just going to walk away and we will come back and see how to do this. So I kind of just leave everything there and move on with my life. But I wasn't gone for very long because I wanted to, like the next layout that I was doing, I already had inspiration and knew how I was going to finish it. So I wanted to get this one done first. So I just left it for a little while and then came back. All right, now I'm back. I don't know why there are no transitions in this video. I am sorry. That is very abrupt. Okay, so we're going to use this big old die cut here and we're going to frame the whole bottom of this photo. Goodness gracious. The way that cut out in a circle, I didn't really love the way that it looked at the top, so I keep sticking it underneath the photo, but in the end I leave it on top because I wanted it to interact with that hello. And I'm going to put this smaller die cut down here or up here in the corner because having two of those large die cuts was just super overwhelming. So I'm just going to use a smaller one instead. All right, now it's starting to come together a little bit better for me. I have this set of butterflies that I'm going to add to the corners. Now these are going in page protectors, so I don't need too much height, but I do want them to pop up a little bit. So I'm going to let the liquid glue dry, and then I'm going to put pop dots underneath the wings so that they stay lifted just slightly. Obviously they can't lift too high in a page protector, but they'll stay up off the page a little bit. Now I had this cut out pom-pom trim and I was like, it's too big and it's not different enough color, so I'm going to use real pom-pom trim. I'm not sure if this came from Citrus Twist or Cocoa Daisy. I just have it in my stash. It could have come from either, but it is the perfect blue for this page. So I'm going to stick it right underneath the edges of my photo and also that die cut so that it doesn't look like it abruptly ends. And then I will just trim off the excess. I want to make sure that it goes straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side so that we've got two matching pom-pom trims. Da, 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 da. Gosh, I look like I'm moving in slow motion. I've recorded so many videos at like 3x and 4x lately because there were so many like levels to them that they had to go fast, that this feels super slow to me. I don't know. 2x is normal, but it feels slow. All right, there we go. And I cut that too low because I want it to go underneath the die cut, so I need to cut it a little bit higher. Perfect. So I think that little bit of trim, even though, especially on the right-hand side there, it fades into that blue a little bit, I think it really added a lot of fun texture to this page that it was needing without adding like more icons. I don't want to detract too much from the actual sunburst because that's like the whole point of this page, right? So I didn't want to add insane amounts of things, but I felt like it needed a little bit more, and I think that pom-pom trim really helped. So now I'm going to add a title around the outside edges of the page, the sun, and it's going to say all dressed up. We're moving hyper fast now. There we go. I love the way that the title interacts with the page. So cute. And what do I add to this? Because it really feels like I'm just about done here. I think, oh, I add some hearts. That's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to add my enamel dots, my pop dots. I add my pop dots, and then I'm gonna add in some of those hearts because duh, it is a lovey-dovey page. We want to make sure that we include the hearts, and I think I forget on camera to add that sun back to the page, but I do add it off camera when I remember. I thought that this pink word bit was perfect because he is wearing a pinkish color, and I added in some pink embellishments, so I wanted to make sure that I added enough pink embellishments that the pink didn't look like it was just random. And then I want to add another heart, so we're going to go with pink again. I'm just adding it to the existing clusters just to build them up a little bit, give them some different shapes to work with, make them more visually interesting. Da, 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 da. I wanted to add this blue one in too, but I felt like there was too much blue because like the one that got covered up the least was that center blue piece, and then you also, it anchors both of the photos, so I didn't want to add in any extra blue. All right, so I add blue with enamel dots instead. But that is it for this video. I'm going to add all these enamel dots and I'm going to call it good. So if you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is a link to Citrus Twist kits in the description box below if you'd like to pick up any of these goodies. And I am just like super slow with all of these enamel dots. What is going on? All right, I will see you next time. Thank you.